Welcome, everybody, to the Ultimate Swimmer Monday Motivation Show. I'm your host, Josh Davis, along with my awesome co-host, Noah, the genius, Yanchulis. We're kind of in the second week of long course, kind of in between seasons, though. We've had a few weeks of long course. There was the April 1st Pro Swam at San Antonio, my hometown, and then we had a team host a meet here, a long course meet this last weekend called the Bison Sprint Classic here in our town of Edmond, Oklahoma. So that was pretty cool. But today we're going to talk about in-betweens. Noah, is that right?
In-betweens, that's right. Yeah, we had our end-of-season banquet yesterday, and one of our seniors, all the seniors do a speech, and one of our seniors, Maggie Farley, talked about the importance of the in-betweens, or the moments that aren't really maybe swimming-related or school-related, but kind of everything in between that really makes your time worthwhile and memorable.
Yeah, so there's lots of in-betweens. Like, for example, yesterday, in between seasons, a lot of LSCs, the big local swimming organizing committees, organizing regions, host symposiums. And yesterday I was in Idaho with Nathan Adrian. And that is a great way to do in between seasons, is to hang out with Nathan Adrian. And all the coaches got their training, the officials got theirs. And that was a cool in between. But you also have, you got to stay motivated in between seasons. And how do you do that? How do you enjoy the sport more? How do you find the balance? How do you find more meaning and fulfillment? And to do that, you don't want to miss the in-betweens, the cheering and trash talking and encouraging in between sets. You've got the meals and the moments at the hotel and the restaurants in between sessions, prelims and finals. And you've got the training trips and the travel and the sightseeing in between meets. The other in-betweens, like you mentioned, our banquet. There's, when you go on sightseeing, when you travel. We went on a great hike after our conference meet. That hike at the end of the conference meet was really special outside Grand Junction, Colorado. I thought that was a perfect way to bond the team and make a memory, and that was a great in-between.
That was great. I'll say the highlight of that for me was watching you lay down on the ground in the dirt to take a photo of everyone where you could see the rock formation in the background. It was phenomenal. We
had to get the rock tower. Into Pac. So, and then, here at our campus, we have in-betweens here. We have a little swimmer's chapel. We do a little 20-minute gathering, kind of like a team meeting, but we go over a verse, go over a life concept, kind of not too different from what we do here at Monday Motivation. And those are some great times that we have as a team. And in other teams, they have the locker room talks. My time with Eddie Reese in between practices, our locker room talks were life-changing. I don't remember much sets. I don't remember my times, but I'll always remember those locker room talks and those special in-betweens. Another in-between that sticks out to me is the team room that we had on the USA trips. So every USA trip, we're pretty spoiled. They give us a nice hotel, and one of the rooms at the hotel becomes the team room. And in that team room is all the snacks, and it's all the games and cards, because we play a lot of cards and play a lot of board games. And then back in my day, we wanted to watch movies. So we had the VCR. So I hope our young listeners, I hope you guys know what a whole VHS of motivational movie collection, my whole VHS collection to the USA team room. So for a couple of years, I had great motivational movies. My whole Rocky collection I donated. And then we had Braveheart, Gladiator, all the great motivational movies I donated to the team room. And we had a blast in the team room, playing cards, telling stories, telling jokes. And then one thing we did on special trips was called Rookie Skit Night. And all the rookies had to do a skit for the rest of the team. So at World University Games, at Pan Am Games, and the Olympic Games, you had to do a skit. And they were hilarious. They were some really funny skits. So that's some in-betweens I'll never forget.
What was your skit? Can you share your skit?
Oh man, I was wondering whether I should share this or not, but we thought it would be so funny to do a drug testing skit. And so I was the proctor, or whatever you call the drug testing official. and then I had to march in the guys. And we thought it would be hilarious if these guys had to go to the bathroom so bad that there was 4 of them, and they drank so much water 2 hours before the skit. They were just downing water and Gatorade for 2 hours before the skit. And then when it was our time, we were doing the whole drug testing thing, and they all peed in their chair in front of everybody.
That's so funny.
And we thought we were so funny, and the rest of the team was horrified. And
I was gonna say, there's no way that went over well.
And the staff, like, they didn't know what to do. They were just like it just ended skit night because everybody left, and we had to clean up the pee. It was really bizarre. We were all 18, 19 years old.
That's terrible, actually.
We thought it was so funny that we could just all 4 of them. I was not one of the ones who peed. I was the official playing the role. But these guys all did it. They all peed right there in front of everybody. And, of course, they were all fully dressed. They peed through their clothes in the chairs. And it was just
that's real commitment, though. That's real commitment. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was a unique. Most of the skits are very clean, super funny, super creative. We have some very creative people on these swim teams. What other in betweens you got?
We would always do movies on our bus trips as well, kind of like you would watch the motivational movies. We would always watch the movie Miracle on our bus trip to our mid-season meet, classic motivational movie about the hockey team. I loved the moments that I remember the most. Some of the best times I had were at the cafeteria in college, just like piling up 15 plates, like see how high we could get our stack of dishes at the cafeteria and just eat as much as we could. We would do this thing where we would get like a huge plate of lettuce. Like we would get like romaine lettuce and spinach and pile it up like on our plate as high as we could. And it would be like 6 people sitting at the table, and somebody would start a clock, and you had to eat the whole thing of spinach as fast as you can, like a whole plate full of spinach, because we had to get our greens in, obviously. So it was kind of like we had to get the healthy food in, but we wanted to make a game out of it. So that was fun. I was pretty good at that one. Another kid on my team could eat a whole ice cream cone in one bite, which was so insane.
He could eat a whole what?
Ice cream cone.
What do you? Oh wow!
Like full scoop of ice cream on the cone, and he would just eat the whole entire ice cream cone.
And he wouldn't get the esophagus freeze burn.
I guess he just powered through it somehow. Shout out Cooper Lindsley. I've seen it happen. It's insane.
I hate that freeze burn.
I know. Gross. I don't know how he did it. It was very impressive. Yeah,
we have lots of in between moments at meal times and cafeteria times. Those are my favorites too. Every Christmas training at the University of Texas, Eddie Reese would take us to this famous barbecue. All you could eat. They would just do it family style. They would just start bringing out the chicken, the brisket, the sausage, the coleslaw, and everything. And the beans, just all the barbecue and fixins. They just bring it out family style, and we just start chowing. Now all of us had per diem though, because this is the one meal that Eddie would pay for, and the rest we had to pay for ourselves. And Eddie would give us $100 bill, or maybe two $100 bills for the week, and that would we would go out to eat with that. Back in the 90s, that would go pretty far. But anyway, so all the brisket was gone, but there was a bunch of sausage left over. So we got all the sausage left over, and it was about a pile of sausage about this big old plate. And so I put my $100 bill, in the middle of the table, and I said, I'll bet anybody $100 that they can't eat all of this. Now, granted, we had been chowing in silence for like 20, 30 minutes. So everybody's pretty full. Mm-hmm. But I was just so curious who would try and eat the plate of sausage for $100. And I think someone else put in their $100 too. So now it's up to $200. And there's this freshman on the team. He was eyeing the $200, and he was eyeing that sausage, eyeing that $200, eyeing the sausage, and then he just started going for it. He just started eating that sausage. And we're all just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. We're already stuffed.
Yeah.
And he's going for it. He's going to try and do this plate of sausage. And we're like, this is crazy. And he gets to he has 5 more left. And the look on his face, his body language and the look on his face is just so awful. He's in so much pain, and we're laughing even harder because of it. And he couldn't finish.
Oh my gosh.
He couldn't finish. So I felt terrible, but I was laughing so hard. Anyway, he never got the money. And the next day's practice, he must have felt awful.
That's bad. That's rough.
But I'll never forget that in between.
Yeah, we would do all you can eat sushi a lot. That was a big thing that our team would go out and do. So one time we took 6 people, and our goal was to eat 300 pieces of sushi in one sitting. So that would be 50 pieces of sushi per person. And I just remember it was me and 2 other guys, and then it was my now wife and then another girl on the team. And we did it somehow. I think we actually got to 350 pieces, and they were all right, you gotta be done. So we had brought the rest of our sushi out on the street in New York City, and we were just finishing up our 350 pieces. But it was a lot of food that day.
They're like, you go now. You guys are done.
Yeah, exactly. We got kicked out.
I eat 10 or 12 sushis, and I'm stuffed. I don't know how you did that.
Make it a game. It's easy.
Yeah. Well, this last NC2A meet, that was our first time there, and we had the compression boots.
Mm-hmm.
And it was coming to our room to do the recovery time. And in between prelims and finals, we were having and at night we were having a blast, just telling stories, doing the recovery in our room, and we were laughing.
It was fun.
And
it was a lot of fun.
And the freshmen, what were they? I was falling asleep, and they were taking pictures of me while I was falling asleep on them.
Yeah, that's a great in between. For anyone that doesn't know, watching Josh fall asleep is the funniest thing ever. Just sitting in a meeting, or sitting at in the hotel room in between, and he's just on his computer, and he's just and then
I have the swimmer gift to fall asleep within seconds in the middle of a conversation.
It is amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah, I got the gift. Well, those are some fun in-betweens for sure. And it really keeps you coming back the next day. It really makes you appreciate that swimming's not just about going back and forth. It's about the friendships. It's about growing as a person. It's about how you can make the team better and how you can impact people through cheering, through conversations, through games, and just fun moments. And that's when swimming really gets exciting, when you learn how to really enjoy it and learn from the people around you, encourage them, see not only how you can make yourself fast, but you learn how to make them fast and make them exciting, is when you really take advantage of these in-betweens.
Yeah, for sure. Couldn't agree more. It's what really makes everything fun and more enjoyable, and it makes the swimming matter more, I feel so. Yeah.
So all you ultimate swimmers out there, if you're riding in the car with your parents, mom or dad, that's an in-between. Enjoy that time. So ask them questions about their childhood. Ask them questions, just any question you want to your parent. In between sets, cheer on your team, help somebody with their technique or their set. And there's always someone who needs encouragement in a practice. And in between seasons, take a day off, take a Friday off, take a Saturday off. I've retired 100 times. I've taken 100 Saturdays off, and then of course I'd miss swimming and I'd come back on Monday. I've retired Friday night and came back on Monday 100 times. Sometimes you got to take a little break in between. So maximize and appreciate your in-betweens. That's our Monday motivation for you guys.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, we're going to talk about the verse of the day. I don't know if you guys have the YouVersion Bible app on your phone. It's the most downloaded app, Bible app in the world. It's actually made here right in Edmond, Oklahoma. Where no one look up YouVersion Bible app. And today's verse is Philippians 2:7-8. Philippians 2:7-8. Now, Philippians is a great book of the Bible. And sometimes I'll just have that on loop, is some chapters of Philippians. Because the Apostle Paul, St. Paul, is writing to the church in Philippi, and he's actually writing it from a jail, but it's really a very positive letter. very positive letter, but yet he's writing it from the bottom of a dungeon. It's incredible. And so here's the verse for the day, Philippians 2, 7 and 8. Jesus made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness and being found in appearance as a man. He humbled himself, even becoming obedient to death, even not just any death, but the most humiliating, excruciating, painful death, the death on a cross. So Jesus did a lot for us, but how he did it is truly amazing as well. How he was a servant, how he was humble, and how he was obedient. And so those are the key words that stick out to me on this verse of the day, is the attitude of a servant and being humble. And Noah, I've found out in my life, when you have a servant's heart and a humble heart and you want to help others, good things happen. And Jesus really modeled that very well for us. We look at his life, how he treated people, and that's really inspiring to me, is the leadership.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we've seen that on our team a lot, and I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times on Team USA and at Texas, and I saw it in college as well. But when you have that spirit of serving others, like you said, it makes a difference for you. And somebody actually said this last night in one of their speeches, is a lot of people, you may not realize the impact you're having on someone because it may just be a normal thing for you. But when your goal is to serve others and help out your teammates and people around you, it does make a huge difference. It can make a huge impact on others. So I think it was cool that some of our swimmers recognize that, but we see it every day, that those that truly serve and are there for others, they always come out on top. And it just seems to be that way through and through.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah. So have that same attitude that Jesus had, the attitude of a servant, humble, obedient, and it'll pay off. April 11th, today is Monday, April 11th. This day in history, April 11th, 1970, the Apollo 13, going to be the third visit to the moon, and something on the ship broke. And so for 3 days, they had to somehow, without much oxygen, without much food or water, they had to maneuver and slingshot around the moon to come back to Earth. And they made a movie about it, Apollo 13. Have you seen that movie, Noah?
Nope. Just like every other movie you've asked me, I've never seen it.
It's another movie to add to the list. And it stars Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon. And it's just an incredible moment in NASA history and history of man, how they were able to, 200,000 miles away, they were, without just looking at the sun and looking out the window and using their little rockets, they were able to and then come back into orbit. Or what do you call that when you enter the atmosphere?
I don't know.
They dropped back in the Pacific Ocean, and we saved them, and it was great. It was an amazing.
Yeah, what is that called?
Re-entry. Anyway, there's a word for it. It's terrible. Okay, 1945, the American troops liberated another concentration camp in Germany. This one was called Buchenwald concentration camp. So all that season, all that spring in 1945, freeing up all these concentration camps and all the Jews and all the mess that was going on in Germany. And that was an incredible, incredible time in world history, that April 1945. And also 2 years later in 1947, April 11th, 1947, Jackie Robinson is the first black baseball player to play in Major League Baseball, an exhibition game. He was playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Noah, have you seen the movie 41?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So that's another one to the list. So we got to watch Apollo 13. We've got to watch 41. And what was the one from last week?
There's probably a list of like 25 that you've asked me on this podcast if I've seen, and I've just never seen them.
All right. So that's the day in history. And we want you guys to go out and make history too, in the pool and in school and in all your endeavors and vocations. So, and finally, we're going to end with the news, swimming news of the week. We had some pretty cool stuff because Canada has a little champ. The Great Britain has some champs. So there's some great swims going on around the world this week. And the one that stuck out to me, you always got to cheer for the old guys. 42 years old. Nicolas Santos from Brazil went 22.7, 50-meter fly. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's inspiring, and it's like you wonder how that guy trains, and you wonder what he does. I mean, it's so fast, no matter what age you are. But he's still doing super well, and he won Worlds 2 years ago, right? Or
yeah,
I don't know when that was. 2 years ago, at 44 or something.
Yeah, still top 5 all time in the world, ranked, top 3 in the world. I mean, he's 42 years old. He still keeps on all that muscle. He can still and beat these guys. It's unbelievable. Here's something kind of cool. At the Canadian trials, the new fastest man in Canada is named Josh Liendo. Great name. And the other fastest guy in Canada was named Brent Hayden. Great sprinter for a long time. Retired, came out of retirement, went real well, and now he's retiring again. But now Josh is the new fastest man in Canada.
Yeah, he was fun to watch at the Olympics this year. I don't know if you paid attention much, but he's been on the come up for a little bit. So he's going to be super fast.
Yeah, no, he's doing great. 21.6. So he's in the mix with the big guys.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. At the Italian Championships, the new fastest backstroke girl, Silvia. They're just so fun. But she went 27.6, 50 meters. That's pretty good for backstroke.
It is really good.
And go ahead.
Did you see the 15-year-old Lorenzo Galassi that went 3:45 in the 400?
Yeah, I missed that in my notes, but I read that. That's crazy.
That was the one to me this week that I couldn't believe. That seems so, 15 years old. When I was 15, my 400 long course was probably 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't even think I had swam it when I was 15. I don't think I could swim that far when I was 15. But that's crazy. 3:45 is number 3 in the world this year.
Yeah, 3:45 is for real. And those Italians, they have some great distance. You want to go eat some pasta and go train distance. I mean, they have got that distance pasta combo is working for Italy.
They're just constantly carbo loaded. They're always ready. They always have enough energy. That's
right. A 17-year-old named Peter Kotze from South Africa went 156, 200-meter back. That's good. That's pretty good. And our other favorite 17-year-old, David Popovic from Romania. Yeah. He threw down. He's kind of back. 48.1, 146.2. Just really, really good. Top. We love watching him. Here's something kind of interesting, talking about transfers. TCU champion swimmer Noah Cumby. I've commentated him at Big 12 for years. He's a great champ, great swimmer for TCU. He's going to do his 5th year at LSU. So it's kind of intriguing. He's going to swim one more time at LSU.
Is he a freestyler, 100, 200 freestyler guy?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that'll be good for him to train with Brooks Curry after a great season like that. So we'll see.
Go be with the people's champion, Brooks Curry. And one of our other favorite swimmers, Maggie Mcneil, is transferring from Michigan. Actually, she's finished at Michigan and going to go do a 5th year and start grad school at Berkeley. And she's going to race for Berkeley next year, where they really have great history of dolphin kick and flyers. So that's going to be really exciting for Maggie Mcneil, and we wish her well on her elbow injury. She injured her elbow a few weeks ago at women's NC2As, evidently. But we hope she gets better fast. But we love watching Maggie Mcneil. And let's see. Oh, the last one I wanted to recognize, Brad Tandy, one of the great sprinters of all time, one of the fastest starters in the world from South Africa. He's officially retiring. And he swam at the ISL. I got to I believe he's with the Breakers when I got to guest coach. But just a great guy and one of the fastest guys off the block of all time.
He's got one of the coolest starts too. For anyone that's interested, look up Brad Tandy swimming start on YouTube, and it's pretty wild how he can throw his arms all the way over the top. It's awesome. Yeah.
A lot of young people have tried to copy him and Caleb Dressel and how they throw the arms just right and throw the legs just right. And if you put it together, it can really, really make a difference. It's pretty cool.
And if you don't put it together, you can belly flop really easily. So be careful if you try it.
Yeah. And my last piece of news is someone has finally made a swimming documentary about the joys of summer league swimming. This new movie documentary is called Swim County, USA by Chris Connor. Swim County, USA is this new little movie documentary about the joys of summer league swimming. And I can't wait to watch it. And I'm so glad that there's someone out there making a cool video about how much fun foundations. So to check that out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is it like a legit documentary or is it like a real movie?
Well, yeah, it's a documentary.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's really cool.
It's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I love when there's always a good swimming show like that comes out.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, have you seen the swimming movies? There's the Missy Franklin movie, Touch the Wall. Did you see that one?
Haven't. Nope. I did. There was one that came out last year that I watched, and it was like it followed the career of Conor Yeager and who was the good breaststroker from like the early 2000s or late
Tom Wilkins. Tom
Wilkins. That's right. Yeah. So I watched that one last year. But I gotta. All right. After this, Josh, just send me a list of all the movies I need to watch.
Okay.
And
we're gonna do some in between movie nights at the pool. We'll get some floaties at the pool. We'll get a movie projector. We can start knocking out these movies at the pool with little swim team parties, pool parties. That'll be our new in between.
Perfect. Because I need it. I need to learn.
All right. So there we go. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I've got for swimming news of the week.
Yeah, that's all I got too. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Ultimate Swimmergram and Josh Davis _USA. And we got a cool Thursday show coming up with another guest swim champion. And if you have some swim champions in your area that we'd like to recognize, just email us, josh@joshdavis.com, and we can recognize your ultimate swimmer on your team that's making a difference. So hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for tuning us in, and we hope to see you around the pool soon. And until then, keep streamlining and keep smiling. Bye-bye, everybody.